difficult is it to travel with pets in Germany and to the countries surrounding Germany?
I am bored. What should I do?
Ich weiß.
Well, I mean, if you use a car, you wouldn't really have any problems because you can just put them in the trunk. I'm pretty sure it's not allowed to put them anywhere else in the car if they're not secured. Like, for example, I know in the US sometimes people put them on the passenger seat there, but that's too risky for us Germans. We don't allow that, I'm pretty sure at least. People still might do it.
Get in the back. Get in the back. Come on. Get in the back.
On the plane, that might be different, of course. You might have to put them in a cage in the package area of the plane. Really small dogs, I'm not sure about actually. The Lufthansa says, for example, in their guidelines that kurznasige, so dogs with short noses or dogs with short heads, like pit bulls and stuff like that, are better left at home and not on the plane because they tend to, well, get stressed really easily and maybe can't breathe as well as other breeds would. So they might even die if you're not careful. Maybe you should give them some kind of tranquilizer before the trip. And I think they're saying that about the Boston Terrier, the Boxer, the Bulldog, the Mops, which is the Pug, the Pekingese, and Shih Tzu. Every airline will have different guidelines and some might even not accept dogs at all. And of course, make sure that if you go to the country you want to go to by plane, that you don't get like an unpleasant surprise at the airport there, because they might have different guidelines and different rules. You might have to bring vaccination passport or something like that for your dog, or certain papers, so make sure you look that up before you travel there. Small dogs sometimes are allowed in the cabin, so not in the package area of the plane, the freight area, but in the cabin area. If you put them like in a little, well, animal box, what do you call those, where you put cats in sometimes as well. So smaller animals like that can sometimes come with you in the cabin. But just in case you wanted to know about train travel and subway travel, I see dogs all the time on trains and subways. Again, depends maybe on the guidelines of the Deutsche Bahn. The Deutsche Bahn says for small animals as big as a cat, maybe, you will have to get an animal box again and put them in there. And then you don't have to buy an extra ticket for the animal. And for any pets that are bigger than a house cat, you basically pay half the price of the ticket. And how you book it is, well, you have to say online that it is a kid 6 to 14 years old without the company of adults. And you have to choose mailing via, well, mail, normal mail, like old snail mail. For some reason you can't really book online tickets for them. In case you want a special ticket, for example, we have the option sometimes on the train that, you have a group ticket for the whole day in a certain state. Then you need to make sure that you include your dog as one full person in those. And make sure that you have the dog leashed and, that he has this thing. A muffle or something? What's it called again? I forgot. A muzzle. Service dogs, for example, for blind people, always go free. Like they don't have to pay anything and also don't have to wear a muzzle. Same rules, most of the time at least, go for buses as well. And I would be very careful about taking dogs into a taxi. I mean, you will have to ask the taxi driver. I hope this video answered all of your questions, or at least many of your questions, concerning travel in Germany with pets. If it did, well, leave a comment, leave a like, all the usual stuff. And if you have more questions, feel free to ask them as well, of course. And if you really enjoyed the video, consider supporting me on patreon.com/getgermanized and follow me on my social media, which can be found in the video description. And apart from that, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to get Germanized. Goodbye and auf Wiedersehen.